Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Rob, and the results you're looking at here are from our most recent tournament, which was November 10th and 11th. We see that Sandra Rimstead proved victorious this week with 81%. Great game by Sandra. She was highly motivated after her husband Shane edged her out last week. So she's the top pro so far in this event. She has a first and a second. We had a lot of amateurs near the top of the leaderboard as well. Congratulations to those great scores. And for those of you near the bottom, and guys, every week someone's going to be on the bottom. It's going to happen. It's going to happen to a lot of you, and there's nothing wrong with it. This is not primarily about your score. Even though you can win an hour online lesson with me, that's great. But the purpose of this event is just to learn. And there's a great quote in a New Yorker article about bridge, and it says one of the reasons bridge continues to fascinate players all over the world is that in order to become even sort of good at it, you have to be willing to be bad at it for a long time. And this is unfortunately true for every bridge player's journey. When I started playing the game, I mean, I was very young and I did not know what was going on for at least and when I say didn't know what's going on, literally I just sat there and knew I had to follow suit for like 6 months. Like I had no idea what was going on. And you know, my father was obviously a very patient teacher and he just kept telling me what I was doing wrong, and I got to see how he played hands, and I just watched and eventually learned how to play. And still I'm not finished with that journey. I'm absolutely still learning, especially from this event, to be honest. I didn't think that this would be so helpful to my bridge game, but so many of these world class players playing the tournament now, it's great to be able to see, okay, how could I have gone about this differently? Or what is the best way to play this card combination? Or why should I bid four hearts instead of three? And it is more that purpose that I want to focus on for all of you. Score should be secondary. And do not get frustrated if you have bad results, because also you have about six or seven really, really good players in the field every week. So your result is going to be a little depressed as compared to, another tournament with just random players in it. So if you're not scoring as high as you usually do, don't let that frustrate you. This is just a good opportunity to learn, and the best way to learn is to have experienced the hand yourself. So that's why I love this event so much. It's an amazing way to further your understanding of the game by playing it and competing. So don't let a bad result frustrate you. Just keep playing, right? That's the only way we're going to learn. And this is happens to be a wonderful time to be able to do that, because you can see so many more hands, especially on BBO, than you ever could back in the day, right? Back in the day, we had to show up to the bridge club every night to try to get as many hands in as possible so we could maybe understand finally how to transfer correctly, or how do I respond to doubles. Man, I need to play more to figure this out. Now you can do that in a much more efficient way with the online universe. So let's get to the results. So board one saw the robot refuse to bid three no trump. It was amazing. You can't get the robot to bid three no trump on this hand, and the auction starts the same way at every table. North opens one club, right hand opponent bids one spade, and we make a negative double with our hand. Right, this is the opportunity to show our four card heart suit, and we do so. And then it goes pass, and partner rebids two clubs. So here's where I didn't know what the robot was going to take some bids as. So what I did was I went to the bidding box and I clicked on three, and then I hovered over the spade bid, and I'm going to do that here on the auction. Uh, Very frequently, you would think this is a splinter bid, right? It would show shortness in spades and some clubs. Um, However, I didn't see that here, right? I don't see that it's a splinter. And what I now think it is hey, if you have a spade stopper, please bid three now. And unfortunately, that produced a four heart bid from my partner, and this was a weird spot. I know my partner has three hearts, because they didn't raise hearts right away. I've already shown 4 of them. So I know partner is, for some reason, bidding 4 hearts. And here it says they have 4 hearts, but I have to know they don't, right? We all have to know that when they don't raise hearts, they can't have 4. So we know we're getting a 3-card heart suit. And here's where, to avoid any bigger disaster, I decided to pass. And I ended up getting a good result for being in 4 hearts, which was absolutely wrong on this hand. I'm not sure what it thought 3 spades was. For me, if it's not a splinter bid, it should just be, hey, bid 3-0 with a spade stopper. I like the way Joe and Radu bid the hand because they actually got to no trump, which was probably our best spot. And they bid 2 spades over 2 clubs, which was probably more normal than 3 spades. And after partner bid 3 clubs, they bid 3 spades. And this is just another attempt to try to play no trump. It's not what the robot took it as. The robot took it as 19 plus points and 4 hearts. So they bid 4 no trump as just key card. And these guys got to pass. So they get the gold star on this hand. For those of you that didn't get to game or were in lower level contracts, this is a hand that you have to make tries to play game with because we know partner opened the bidding, right? And we have 14 points. So if we're selling out for 3 clubs, we're not giving it enough of an effort to get to the game that we probably belong in. And it looks like if partner does have a spade stopper, 3-no trump's going to be really good from our perspective. We know partner has a 6-card club suit, and we happen to have king, queen, jack in that suit. There's a likely 6 tricks, and we certainly have enough values in both of our hands to probably get together and take 9 tricks. So 3-no trump looks like the best spot. The problem on this hand is we can never get the robot to bid it, and they have to be the ones that do bid it because they are the ones with the stopper and spades. If you played 5 clubs, which is what Sandra did on this hand, you did just as well if you made it. But as it turns out, they have multiple ways to beat you in this contract. So this is a tough spot, and it's because the robot just can't be convinced to bid no trump on this hand. And this is kind of realistic. Sometimes your partner's going to make some mistakes, right? So on these auctions here, it would, in a normal spot, North would always just bid 3-no, right? But for some reason here, the robot just was not having any of it. And that's okay. We all were faced with the same issue, and we had obviously varying results here. If you're in 5 clubs and they defend perfectly, you're not going to make it. If you're in 3-no trump, though, you're going to make it, right? In fact, you're going to make 4. There's no lead they can make to actually hurt you on this end. So while 3-no trump would be the ultimate contract here, we can never get to it, unfortunately. So we were destined to have some odd results on this board, and we did for sure. The key things on this particular hand are, first of all, we know we want to be in game. And second of all, we want to try to steer it to no trump if we can, especially with this hand. On board 2, the best contract is 4 hearts. And you'll see on my results, I only played 3. I took a very conservative approach on this hand, and it's actually wrong because my hand is too good to not bid 4 hearts. The auction was the same at every table. We opened a diamond. Our partner bid a heart. We bid a no trump, right? We're just going to show a balanced hand with like 12 to 14. And partner jumps to 3 hearts. And I asked Joe, why is it bad to pass 3 hearts? And his simple answer was, first of all, I have a maximum, right? Even though my major shoot cards aren't pretty, I have certainly the top end of my range. My range when I rebid 1 no trump is 12 to 14. And I have a good 5-card suit. And I also have jack small of the suit partner just invited to game in. And while that might seem worthless if partner doesn't bid the suit, when partner shows a lot of cards in that suit, that card is actually very helpful. So my pass of 3 hearts was actually quite bad, and I ended up getting rewarded for a bad bid. Most of you were correctly in 4 hearts down 1. And you go down 1 because on this hand, the opponents just take the first 4 tricks. They take a diamond rough, and the ace of spades and the king of spades. You're in four hearts. You actually did okay if you were only down one, right? You get 51.2%, which makes sense because it's definitely the best contract to be in on this particular hand. So board three is a good play problem, and it's because we are all in the same contract. We open a no trump and everybody passes. And we get a spade lead. After the opponent wins the ace of spades, they lead another spade, and we're all faced with the same exact situation, which is great. These are the best hands for play problems. And we'll notice if we look at the way all the pros played it, save for a misclick here or there, they all played it the same way, and it was different than most of the amateurs. And the main difference was the pros did not leave the heart suit to chance. And what I mean by that is if we lead hearts at some point, we're going to play a low heart towards the king, and we're going to play the king, right? So if the ace is in the east player's hand, we're just opening up all the tricks in that suit. But if it's in the west player's hand, we'll always get one extra trick. None of the pros left this to chance. In fact, we'll see that they all played it the exact same way. We started with diamonds, and here's a good place to start, guys. We started with 6 total winners. We just need one more, and we could get several more in the diamond suit. So we're going to crack that right open right now. And here is where we play another low diamond, and they play the king, so we play low, and bingo. Now, if we count our winners, we've started with 2 tricks already. We have 2 more clubs, that's 4, 2 spades, that's 6, and the queen of diamonds is 7. So we're in good shape. This is a good spot to take 7 tricks. So at this point, we don't just quit and take our tricks. We try for more. All right, we want to take as many tricks as possible, and watch how John Hurd does this. And I'll show you a couple other tables where we do the exact same thing. It's a very cool play, and it's what's called an end play. So on the diamond return, we know that the diamonds didn't split. So we should know that East is holding on to the 10 of diamonds. So at this point, John cashed his clubs, cashed his spades, and then instead of leading a heart now and then just hoping that the ace is in the west chair, he just exits a club. And watch what happens. East gets to take their diamond, but now they are forced to lead a heart. And this might not seem different. A lot of you made 2, and you did well to make 2. You played it very well. But you took a risk by playing low to the king of hearts. On this line of play, if East has the ace of hearts, we get to take a trick also, right? So we give them no choice but to help us in this suit. And when the lead comes from East, we cannot avoid winning a trick with the king of hearts. So this is exactly how Shane played the hand. Let's take a look. Same difference, maybe a couple of different cards here or there, but bingo, throwing right hand opponent in at the end and forcing them to lead hearts. And Sandra, same way. And this is why these guys have so many master points, right? They know how to take advantage of a situation now. So that is the ideal line of play that you just saw. There were other lines of play that were successful, and they were successful because the ace of hearts is obviously in a very favorable spot on this hand. And to be honest, in some situations, when they won a trick, they let a heart from the east player's hand, which is also great, right? Whenever they're leading towards your problem suit, that's a good thing when you get to play that last. So if you made 2, you did really well. 3 people made 3. Congratulations. That was awesome. You got you 96.3%. But most of the players were in one no trump making 2 for 65.8%. Board 4 saw Drury pop up. Drury is a convention that some of you may not be playing, but when you play with the robot, unfortunately you play their card. But the beauty of that situation is, whenever you see these bids, they'll be not only yellow, meaning you can get an explanation for it, but when they're surrounded by that red bracket, it means it's an alertable bid. It means it's something different. So all you have to do is mouse over this during the auction, and it'll tell you Drury. And all Drury is a way to show a limit raise at the 2 level, essentially, a very low level raise. And it's because It's only used when we open in third and fourth seats, which are the times where we're likely to be opening light, especially in third seat. So it's kind of an insurance policy against those times where partners open super light. And all it does is tell partner I have at least three spades and I have a limit raise. I have probably, because I'm a past hand, I probably have 10 or 11, a good nine sometimes, maybe some shapely eights, something that is a good raise of partners too. And we had differing opinions here. Most of the field just jumped to four spades. Some of the top level pros bid two hearts, and that's just to maybe hold out hope of finding an even better fit in hearts. The moral of the story is we almost all play four spades on this hand. If you didn't play four spades on the hand, you probably just didn't recognize Drury, and this is just a good heads up for you. During the auction, the bidding box will be right in the middle here, right? So during the auction, before you make your next call, just do what I'm doing on the screen right now. Just mouse over that bid. It will tell you what it is, and it's a pretty good description here. It says I have three or more spades and 10 to 12 points. More like 10 or 11 because they're a past hand. But we know it's a reasonable hand, and with our hand, we have 16 total points and an amazing spade suit. We just bid game, right? So any bid other than just two spades will show a full opening hand. So for the times where you have opened light, you can just rebid your major, and that's what that will show. It'll show a minimum hand or a hand that I opened light in third seat. So here, any other bid, obviously including four spades, will show a full opener and the ability to play. You should all take 11 tricks on this hand. Some of you might have taken one less. Take a look at the play on the hands of people that made 11. Here you get a big, huge gift in the diamond suit. You lose the first two tricks, and then you should always win the third trick. You draw trump, you play diamonds, and you'll notice you'll get to pitch away all your losers on that suit. Never take a diamond finesse, guys. I think that may be one of the reasons some of you took one less trick. And you never have to take a diamond finesse because you're singleton in your hand, so you can rough diamonds and create tricks that way if you need to. Board 5 saw a bunch of different auctions with the same destination ultimately. We all played 3-no trump. Some of us were making an over trick or three, and some were going down. So let's take a peek at the auction real quick, and then we'll get into the play. I like Joe's auction the best. I think it's the most straightforward explanation of our hand. He opens a diamond, partner bids a spade, we bid two hearts, which is a reverse. This is still an unlimited hand, and it certainly shows extra values, right? It's like 17 plus points. So we bid two hearts, and partner bids 2-no trump, and now we raise to 3-no trump. And essentially we're showing this hand. We're showing a game-forcing hand opposite essentially what could only be 6, and as we can see, is only 6 points from our partner. So on this hand, we're all going to end up in 3-no trump. If you play it from the south, you probably get a more favorable lead. You get a heart lead, which gives you an extra trick right away without you having to guess that suit. Let's take a look at how Joe played this hand, though. The lead was a club from this side, right? We're playing from the north in this case. And Joe ripped off 4 club tricks and now played a low diamond toward the dummy. And this might look weird, guys, but take a look at where we are right now. We have 4 tricks already. We have 2 heart tricks left. That's 6. 1 spade trick, that's 7. Maybe another spade for 8 if the finesse works. The problem is, if we take this finesse, we need to have some way to get back there if it loses, right? If it loses to the king, we now can't lead a spade from our hand. So if you look at the way almost all the pros played this hand, we all cracked diamonds open pretty quickly because that looks like it's going to develop into an entry for us. And these situations aren't always that bad either because sometimes they'll just make a lead that's beneficial for you when you let them in. So we just lead a diamond and lose a trick. And then when they return a spade, they gave Joe a free finesse here, which is one of the things that's going to happen in these spots. And now he still works on developing diamonds to take even more tricks. So no matter which way you got to 3-no trump, the key to making 3 or more is to start developing your tricks in that diamond suit. And it'll also give you the opportunity to take a spade finesse later safely. And if you watch this here, this is me playing the same hand. When they lead the ace of diamonds, I play the king underneath it. And that's because I want to take a spade finesse. I want a chance to take an extra trick. So now when I take this and it loses, I still get over there with the 10 of diamonds and cash the ace of spades later. And that's what happens on this hand. Unfortunately, I did not make 4. I only made 3, but that was good enough, right? 72%. That's okay. So board 6, a relatively boring hand. We're almost all in 2 spades, making 3. If you did not make 3, take a look at how these people played the hand. It's pretty straightforward. You should only lose 4 tricks maximum. Right? You're going to lose 2 diamonds, you're going to lose a heart, and you're going to lose a spade. Board 7 saw a few of us get a fantastic result for getting to a bad slam. And this is a weird hand. You should start by opening 2 clubs. A lot of you just opened a spade with this hand. This is much, much too good for 1 spade. The way you want to think about the 2 club opening bid is, yes, 22 or more points usually, especially when you're balanced. But also, for hands that are within 1 trick of game in their own hand, and if you look at this, if you're being brutal with the number of losers you have 4, essentially. Maybe 5 on the worst possible day, but really it's a 4-loser hand, right? The ace of spades, 2 diamonds, and a club, considering nothing from partner. So when you're that close, when you're within a trick a game, you can also open 2 clubs. And the auction gets crazy from there. West preempts with 3 hearts, and partner bids 3 no trump. And now you're guessing with this hand. This is a super tough spot because the 3 no trump bid by partner isn't really that great for your hand. The fact that they have stoppers and hearts is something that is probably not that awesome for you, right? Because you have a void in hearts. So every point partner has in the heart suit would be much better served as a point in, let's say, diamonds or clubs or even spades, right? So the fact that they have some values in hearts means this might not be the best situation. And that's why half of the pros, maybe a little less than half, only bid 4 spades. And it's a reasonable choice with this hand. And they can bid just 4 spades there because they've already opened 2 clubs. That's the big thing here, right? They've already shown a huge hand. So just because they're bidding 4 spades doesn't mean, hey, I have a bad hand. No, I already opened 2 clubs. So you know my hand is very strong. So the 4 spade bid is, again, a good sign off because those of us that bid 6 spades were not in a good spot. But the play is somewhat interesting because you're faced with a tough decision right at trick 1. The opponent's lead something that's the only lead that will allow you to make this hand. But did us a favor. They led the ace of hearts and gave us a chance to make it. And then here's the toughest spot. We have to ask this question. How the heck am I going to get to dummy to throw away my losers? And also, which finesse do I take? And when you're asking these questions and you're in a slam, it means that you have bid a terrible slam. So the way I played spades is I played the king of spades. And I was very lucky that the ace of spades was singleton and took the trick. And now I've created a way to get back to dummy. Another thing I get to see right away is when East wins the ace of spades, they lead a diamond. And I'm not going to tell you that this is a foolproof way because there are times when the robot will do this and actually have the king of diamonds. But usually, and especially at higher level contracts, when they lead through a suit you have a finesse in. And this is only the robots, guys. This is not real bridge. You're usually going to lose that finesse, right? They're trying to get their trick right now, which is why I won the ace of diamonds. And again, this is weird because it's not 100% reliable. From what I've seen and the amount of bridge I played with the robots is when they lead a suit that you have a finesse decision in, it's the vast majority of time going to be a losing finesse. Okay? So that's why I took the ace of diamonds, and now I get to lead a low spade to the 10 entering the dummy to cash 2 hearts. And notice how favorable the distribution on this hand was. Not only did the right hand opponent take the ace of spades and allow me an entry, but they also didn't have any more spades. So when I play the queen of hearts, they can't ruff it. Super friendly. And on the queen of hearts, I pitch away the queen of diamonds. And I'm not home yet. The problem here is I've already lost one trick. So if I play something to my hand and draw trump and then play clubs, I am likely to lose the queen. So I have to take a finesse right now. And after I do that, I get to claim because I can draw trump and I have all winners. This is the same way that you would see Raluca and Sandra. So I had great company. I had the wonderful, wonderful professional ladies of bridge bidding this slam. And we also had other people jumping to 6. John Hurd jumped to 6, and we were talking about this together. He guessed spades in the other direction. So what he was hoping is that West had some sort of hand where they preempted and had ace third of spades, because we need two things to be happening here. Not only do we need a way to get to the dummy, we need to make sure that when we're playing hearts, our East player isn't roughing. So he played a low spade, and unfortunately, it's wrong. And when you get that part wrong, you're just not going to make the hand. Well, there were a few of us playing 6 spades. The rest of you were more sane and playing 4 spades, making 4. Because in 4 spades, they just get the defense right? They don't lead the ace of hearts because they're not in a slam. But being in 4 spades, making 4 was still 68.8%. So you did very well. If you made an over trick, you got up to 90%. Good job. All right, and the last board, which was board 8, saw differing opinions on what to open. The vast majority of the pro field open 1 no trump, and here's why. And it's what I opened with this hand. The biggest problem is our rebid. What happens the next time we bid? And I'll show you maybe the best auction that didn't open a no trump, but this is a hand that you can show 15 to 17 right away. You do have a singleton, but it's a singleton ace. And it's not the best. Obviously, this isn't an ideal 1 no trump opening bid, but it's easier and usually better than the alternatives. Because the problem is, if we open a club, partner's going to bid a diamond, and that's exactly what happens at every table that opens a club. And I'll show you right here. So here it goes, a club, a diamond. What do we rebid? We can rebid a spade, which is still like 12 to 17. Rebidding a no trump here is going to be more like 12 to 14. So we can't really do that. So we bid a spade, and now partner bids a no trump, and now what do we do, right? The best way to do this is to do what Joe did here. Now you just bid 2 no trump, and this kind of shows this hand. It shows an unbalanced hand that is a no trump range, right? It's not 18-19 because we could have jumped to 2 no trump over 1 diamond. It is probably a hand with extra values. I would say like a good 16 to 17, which is what Joe's looking at here. So if you're going to open a club, this is kind of the way we have to go about bidding it, right? We have to make a weird raise toward the tail end to kind of show this hand, which is fine. And it's probably the most descriptive way to bid this hand, but it could be getting us a little too high. I can tell you that when dummy table is just 2 kings, you're probably not terribly happy to be in 2 now, right? You'd rather be in 1. Which is why I opened a no trump with this hand. This is a hand where I hate my rebid problem so much that I just want to get it out of the way here. And I'm happy if partner wants to bid a major. Obviously, I have good shape for that. And as it turns out, I just get to play 1 no trump. And let me show you how I made 4. I obviously got a little help from the opponents. The good thing about opening 1 no trump on this particular board is that you dodge a diamond lead, which is the opponent's best lead. They actually lead a heart. And I won the ace, and then I played a spade to the 9. And this is just me guessing the spade suit. I'm hoping that the jack is to my left and that the 9 either produces the ace or wins the trick if both of the cards are there. And I get one of the best case scenarios. When I play a low spade to the 9, they win the ace. So now I kind of know where the jack is and I know how to play spades going forward for the rest of the tricks. And now is when they let a club. The best way to play this club suit, guys, when you're looking at only 7 of them and you have ace, queen, 10, is to play the 10. All right, we're going to take a finesse for the jack and the king at the same time. And you can see another piece of good luck for me here. The 10 produced the king, so now I've created another trick on this side. And here's where they let a spade for some reason, and now I get to take my spade tricks, and that's what I start doing here. At this point, I lead a low club, and I play my ace, and then I play my queen of clubs, and the reason I play clubs here is I want to see if they divide evenly. If they've divided 3 and 3, I have the rest of the tricks in clubs, but if they have not divided, I get to set up my last club by just leading it now. And the whole reason I was able to do this is the opponents never found their best switch, which was diamonds, right? They've let me hold on to this singleton ace in my hand so that now when they make a lead, I get to win and then just come back to my hand and cash the tricks that I created, right? That the 4 clubs becomes my 9th trick, and they miss pitch, and mainly, I have to say, unfortunately, because they think I have a diamond left. Another win for maybe opening a no trump on this hand. The reason they pitch this heart and allow me to make 10 tricks instead of just 9 is because they know I have a diamond left. Why would he open a no trump without 2 cards in every suit? So it was an extra dirty win at the end there. Sorry, guys. The robot was certainly convinced I had a diamond, so I get to take 1 extra trick. But honestly, I'm not as good as Sandra on this hand. She actually found a way to make 11 tricks. If you want to see how she did that, take a look. But really, the normal result is probably 1 no trump making 1 or 2, which if you did that, guys, you got an above average score. 1 no trump making 1 is 57.5. 2 no trump making 2, which was where a lot of you were, was 81.2%. So if you did play some number of no trump, you ended up doing pretty well. You can make 2 on any lead, right? So even if they did lead their best suit, which was diamonds, you should still be able to take 8 tricks. And I think the main thing is guessing spades and clubs correctly. Clubs isn't much of a guess. The standard way to play this suit is to play a club to the 10, right? Especially considering you're not going to be in dummy often enough to just take 1 finesse and then try to take another later. Take all the finesses at once by playing low to the 10. And then later on, you can play low to the queen if you need to. Thanks a lot for playing this week, everybody. This is turning out to be an awesome learning experience, not just for all of you, but for me as well. I hope you continue to play and tell everybody that you play with about this great event. Thanks a lot, guys, and I'll see you next week. Take care.